good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Life with Shenita. I am Shenita Connolly, your host, and I am excited to be back this evening. Last week, I was not feeling too well, and I had my guest host, Wendell Hollins, Limitless Hollins, to host the show for me. And the conversation was part 2 of prostate health. So it was a great show. And I hope that the men were able to glean something from that conversation with Dr. Bridges, who is a urologist out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and the men who shared their prostate journey. And I hope the ladies who watched the show actually was able to make sure that the men watched the replay if they missed the actual show. So again, thank you for joining. As always, we appreciate your time and your sacrifice to chime in on whatever the conversation may be. As many of you all know, I'm a widow of 6 years, and I am continuing to live my life in a vibrant way. And I am encouraging others, regardless of the challenges that you face, that you do the same. It is a choice. And so tonight, we have the opportunity to hear from a young lady who made a choice to launch her business in the midst of the pandemic. And so when we think of the pandemic, we're still pushing through the pandemic, trying to survive, trying to have a little bit of sense of normalcy. It may not happen for some time, but regardless to that, this young lady persevered with her efforts to launch her business and take it to a whole nother level. And so I've watched her since 2020 and had the opportunity to talk with her over the phone because I reached out to her because I was so impressed with her business and her products, and became a supporter of it. And so I am so excited to introduce her to some of you, if not most of you. So without further delay, I would love for you to like and share this broadcast this evening, as always, so that not only you will be blessed, but others will be blessed as well. And so as the banner says at the bottom of the screen, the ultimate goal of Life with Shenita is to help people overcome life's challenges and to encourage them to live a vibrant life. So hopefully tonight's show will do just that for you. Again, please like and share this broadcast. So I am going to bring in our guest for the evening. Good evening, Miss Erica Davis.
Good evening. How are you today?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. I am so excited to have you join us tonight and to share your journey and make sure that people know what it is that you have launched and you are moving along rapidly in this entrepreneurship world, even in the midst of a pandemic.
Yes, definitely.
So, I would like for you to introduce yourself to the audience in whatever way you like to introduce yourself. Tell them a little something about Erica Davis.
All right. Well, first of all, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night to all of you who are logged in today. Thank you for logging in, first of all. Well, of course, my name is Erica Davis. I am the founder of Jazz & Company. I am the founder of X-Ray Collections. I am also the founder of Jazzy Concepts and Designs Incorporated. My journey goes a little bit something like this. I actually started my business February 1st of 2012. Starting out, I learned how to make t-shirts. And from making t-shirts, it became a rhinestone t-shirt business. As you can see, I'm wearing one of my items now. Do it for the culture. So thank you so much. So my rhinestone business actually really picked up as the years progressed. In 2019, December of 2019, my mom ended up getting sick and she went into the hospital. So I watched my mom get put on a ventilator on January 1st, 2020. What a way to start off a new year. And just working through that with my mom, trying to stay there with my mom. And on February 18th, she did pass away. And my mom was like my biggest supporter. She was my backbone. She was everything to me. I loved her so much and she loved me. And I remember just spending our final day together because she actually passed away the very next day. And like the conversations we had were like, Erica, you can do this. You got to get you a money market person because you're going to be rich. You're going to make some money. And so at the time, you know, you really don't think of it like that because she was doing so great that day. And then like I got a phone call saying, hey, you might need to come up to the hospital. And sure enough, when I got to the hospital, she had already passed away. And from that point on, I was like, wait, my backbone is gone. I have to figure out how I need to live life now without my mom. And it was really, really hard, like, because at the same time, about 3 weeks later, the pandemic really, really started to hit hard. And I had stopped doing shirts for a while because I needed that time to kind of grieve and get myself together. And suddenly I was like, well, let me try to make a mask. So I started making bling rhinestone masks first, and then it started like venturing out into pearls around maybe July of 2020. And they were really booming. So like I saw Kamala Harris and I saw the Joe Biden campaign. And after Joe Biden won, I was like, okay, I know I can make some shirts to make some money, you know, to kind of get me by, because my business had become the way I was paying for school. My mom was helping me pay for school. So I had to figure out how I was going to pay for school. I'm in school now for my doctorate degree in education. And thank you. And so I was like, okay. So I had to think outside the box, think about what no one else was doing. And sure enough, I came up with a white pearl mask. And it really, really took off. The first 50 that I made, like I think I sold those within 2 days. And as time progressed, I made more and more. And I decided to start an ad on Facebook, not knowing what Facebook ads would bring me, not knowing how viral my little pearl mask would be. And sure enough, around January, at the end of December, January, it was starting to go viral. Everyone was sharing it. My orders went from like $50 to $60 a day to around the first day, it was like $800 in one night. I was like, wait, what's going on? Then the next day, it was like $2,000 a day, then $4,000. So I really, really made a lot of money with these pearl masks because everybody wanted to be on that Kamala Harris scene, and everyone wanted to support her as being our first woman vice president. And it was such an amazing experience as I saw the funds come in. We're going to stop right there because now notice I just said that I was a very small business making $50, $60 a day. I was okay with probably making $500 a week. What I did not realize is that at that time, I didn't really have a lot of good processes in place because shipping out 1 or 2 orders a day is nothing compared to shipping out 200 or 300 orders a day. Mm-hmm. So I had to go from basically working my business on my own to kind of like, hey, PK, hey, Erica, I'm gonna need you. Leonora, I need you. And like, they're coming into my home. They don't really know much about my business, much about my processes, and things just kind of went haywire. You know, a lot of people did get their masks. On the same token, a lot of people did not get their masks, and it was just it had become a big headache. And, you know, from there, I had to stop for a moment and I had to regroup. It came to a point where my phone was ringing off the hook. People were looking for the products. People were, oh my God, they were doing chargebacks with the banks. PayPal had all my money on hold. So like I wasn't making anything from PayPal. I literally had to cut PayPal off of my site. And it was just a mess.
So let me ask you this before we get deep into that story. Mm-hmm. So tell us, where are you from before we go into our icebreaker?
I am so sorry.
That's okay. Tell us where you're from, born and raised, all of that good stuff.
All right, so I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I was born to my mother, my biological mom. Her name is Faith. She's still living. And when she gave birth to me, I was actually put up for adoption. So I stayed in the foster care system for about 2 years, and I was given up for adoption and later moved to Memphis, where my mother, Ethel McKinley, and my father, Rainey Davis, raised me. And I pretty much had a pretty cool life.
Wonderful, wonderful. And college?
Oh, yes. I graduated with my Bachelor's of Arts from the University of Memphis in history. I actually graduated from Union University with my Master's of Arts in Education. And currently I am attending Freed-Hardeman University, where I'm working on my Doctorate of Education.
Awesome. So are you currently working?
I am currently working. I am currently a 12th grade teacher. I'm teaching the subject of facing ourselves in history as well as African American history.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. So that's a little bit about you. Are you tell us anything else? Are you a mother?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely a mom. I am a mom of 3. I have 3 beautiful, beautiful chocolate babies. I have a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 6-year-old young man. So
I love it. I love it. Kudos to you on your journey. So let's do this icebreaker.
Okay.
So if you had to describe a pearl to a person who's blind, what would you say to them?
Whew. Now I would have to close my eyes on that one. Just thinking about someone who is blind and someone who's never been able to see anything possibly in their whole entire life. Like the biggest thing that I can describe a pearl is being something bright and beautiful and round. And it's an object that's very fascinating, and everybody wants to get their hand on a pearl. And it's crazy how this particular material comes from an oyster. And I know they don't know what an oyster is, but it's very beautiful, it's very bright, and it's round, and it's one of the most popular materials out there in the universe today.
Awesome, awesome. So thank you for that. And I wanted to just say, my father passed away on January 18th too. My condolences to you. I didn't know that part of your story. So
thank you.
My condolences.
Sorry.
And so as we continue our conversation, let's kind of talk about what's exciting for the viewers. So before we get into the conversation, because I think that's key. So I think I kind of shared the mask. Absolutely amazing. So you have something you'd like to share with them in terms of a treat this evening if they decided to place an order.
Of course. Yes. So for those of you all who are currently on with Life with Shenita, I have an amazing offer for you. It's 20% off my entire site. The coupon code is simply Life with Shenita in all caps. No spaces, just Life with Shenita. You can visit our site. We have some amazing items on there. You can use that code as many times as you would like up until 8:59 on tomorrow evening. So shop at www.jazz-nicole.com for your 20% off. And the code is Life with Shenita. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, there are some amazing things. I'm still adding some things to the site. So I would definitely love your support if you ladies will go out there and check me out.
Yes. So that's a treat at the top of the hour so that they can take advantage of some of the amazing products, as you mentioned. And so as we continue our conversation, you kind of shared some things, a little while ago, but I'd like for you to tell us how has being an entrepreneur affected your life personally and professionally, particularly over the pandemic timeframe. But I know you started in 2012, but I'm sure your business leaped to a whole different level.
Yes, it is.
Since last year.
Yeah. So, yes, basically from 2012 on up to June of 2020, I was just selling my products on Facebook, just sharing it with my friends, inboxing people. People were giving me calls to place orders. I actually went on vacation, and on my way home, I looked into building a website. And, that whole ride home, I just started working on it and building onto it. I ended up sharing their website on Facebook when I got back home and started receiving my first orders. The reason why I did that type of business or an e-commerce store is because during the pandemic, we all know like people aren't going into the stores. People aren't really apt to meet you to get their items. So I've just felt like it was more convenient for people to just kind of meet me. Just kind of go on my online site, order what they need, and I can ship it right to them through UPS, USPS, FedEx, all that good stuff. So I can say the pandemic, yes, it was very hard, but I am grateful for it because I was able to launch an amazing e-commerce store. So
awesome. So professionally, it affected you in terms of dollars and cents.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. Yes.
And practices, improving your processes and practices, business practices that you have in place. Personally, what was that like for you?
It's been, it's been a journey. I can say in June, I was at home. I was not teaching at the time. I was out of school. We were on break. And so being at home all day was really easy. The thing that really made it hard was the fact that I had to go back to work. I had to go back and be Miss Davis again. I had to be a teacher. So for 9 hours a day, I had to sit at home because we were teaching virtually last year. I sat at home and I taught kids, and, I had things just coming in on the e-commerce site. And I just realized like my whole life had become my e-commerce business, not knowing, back in June when I started, it was going to be like this, hey, where can I get this? Or what can I make to make customers want to buy? Like, I can say professionally, last year was probably, I'm going to be honest, be very honest. It was probably my worst year as a teacher because I had to figure out how to juggle being a mom, being a teacher, and being an entrepreneur. And I think ultimately, when I think back on it, being a teacher really took the back seat because I was no longer in the classroom. I was at home. I was teaching, but I wasn't teaching because I wanted to make sure that my business was successful. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. And I hear you realistically. Mm-hmm. So what have you learned from this journey or this process from just making $50 to $60 a day or $500 a week to making $5,000 a week or what have you? What have you learned about jazz or Erica Davis?
I've learned to have more confidence in myself. I at first I was just, like I said, a girl who was just sharing stuff on Facebook, not knowing that people really loved the items that I had. And I was really in a down place at that time. And when that e-commerce store started popping off, it really let me know that my steps are ordered in God's word. And I really had to learn how to just be still and let God move, and it's crazy because I saw my mom get put on a ventilator on January 1st of 2021. I'm sorry, 2020, but January 1st of 2021 is when I was really making, a lot of money. And that just goes to show me that there is a God, because when you lose your parent, sometimes you feel like you've lost everything. And it just helped me to gain a better relationship with God and just learn how to talk to him every day. Like I'm talking to a regular person.
Exactly.
And,
like you're talking.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And really get into just praying and just, just hashing out everything with him, because people don't really have your best interest at heart all the time. No, and so I really, really got into my faith with myself, with my business, with my kids. I'm doing a lot better in school now, and I love it. I absolutely love it now. So
awesome. Yeah. Awesome. And you're right. I've lost both of my parents, and a piece of you is gone forever, and it's devastating. Yes. Not to mention my father, my mom, my father, my husband, and my brother just this past March. And so you have to, and so when I say you have to choose to live a vibrant life, I mean exactly that, because sometimes when you lose family members that are so significant in your life, you want to just go close yourself off to the world.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
you have to intentionally decide that I am going to push through this pain to my purpose because somebody needs me out there. And so
Yes.
I just am grateful that you pushed through.
Yeah, you as well.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So with that being said, tell us, how did you come up with the idea? Like, I know you said 2012, it was, because I want you to go deeper into that. 2012, it was the t-shirt business and it was just something to pay for school. But did you ever think about my business being more than t-shirts before the mask?
Never. I always thought I was going to be the girl who just made t-shirts. I
Wow.
never, I never thought about like, I knew I didn't want to do a boutique because everybody was doing a boutique. And it was funny because when I first made my first rhinestone mask, my friend who has the same name as myself, Erica, she was like, how am I going to breathe in it? And 2 weeks later, I was sold out of it. And so she hopped on board and she wears her mask all the time now. But it was just, taking that pandemic and being able to think outside the box and making the pandemic work for you instead of just like drowning yourself in the sorrows and the woes of the pandemic.
Mhm. Absolutely. And I just want to emphasize again that if you would like to place an order with Jazz, the website is scrolling here. And the code for 20% off is Life with Shenita, and it's good until tomorrow evening, Eastern Standard Time, 8:59.
Yes.
So if you'd like to place an order, take advantage of this opportunity that we have available. And Jazz has Erica, I want to call her Jazz, but Erica has graciously provided for you all. So shop, 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 as she said. So what was your key driving force behind becoming an entrepreneur? You're an educator, you're a teacher. You kind of said a little bit about mom being your biggest supporter and pushing you, but was there more to it than, because I work for the school system here in my district. And so we know educators don't get paid a lot of money, but you guys certainly deserve so much more. But what was kind of like the push, the driving force, particularly, shall I say, a single mother?
Yes.
Yes. So I was a single mother of three, and my oldest will be 39 this year.
Oh, wow.
And my youngest will be 31 this year. And so I know the journey of raising children. My son, of course, is in the middle. Children as a single mother and how challenging it can be. When my kids were small, each holiday, I knew that I had money to take care of the necessities, but during the holidays, I had to think outside the box and figure out
Yes.
how am I going to buy Christmas gifts without going into the household money. So I would bake, and so I still bake today. And so, as a single mom, what was really the push to go into business in 2012? Was it for financial reasons, or just a desire, or to even take it even further and add to your store? Because you not only have t-shirts, but you have so many other items.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. What I would say, like, what really pushed me into entrepreneurship is that in 2012, I was not teaching then. I was actually a student. I was getting my bachelor's. And I knew that I needed money. I had already had 2 kids at that time. And I knew that actually working a job and trying to find someone to keep my kids was not going to work for me. And so basically, I made a living off of making t-shirts from 2012 up until 2015 when I graduated with my bachelor's degree. And from there, it's not like I could just stop because I still had people like blowing me up saying, hey, Jazz, we need this, I need that. I was like, okay, well, I can still do this. I can teach, I can go to school, and I can have my own side business. Yes, and be a mom.
Right.
And
A balancing act, right?
yes, a balancing act, because I had gotten so used to making, having a stream of income that's pretty much unlimited. And I knew that I just didn't want to limit myself or my kids to that one teaching income. And so I needed to learn how to have a work-life balance, but I ended up having a work kind of life balance. And but like when Christmas time came around, my kids have always had the best. They've never had to go without nice things, nice toys, nice shoes. And it's because of the hard work that I put into my business. Like you said, teachers don't make a lot. And I failed to mention that I was also a cheer coach.
Ooh.
So, yes.
Making t-shirts.
Yes. So I was doing all of that, but I knew the driving force behind what I was doing were those 3 babies and just making sure that they had what they needed. I like nice things. So I went out and got a Mercedes Benz. I got an Audi. And I wouldn't have been able to do those things off of just, like I said, that teaching income. But, hey, sometimes you learn from, some of those expensive cars. So,
Yes, you do. My dad always said it's one thing to buy a car. There's another thing to maintain a car. And you have to always remember the maintenance that comes along with it, to include the insurance. So it took me many years to really understand that, because when we want something, we want it. So we don't really take into consideration. I'm not saying everyone, I'm just saying sometimes you don't take into consideration all the factors that play into that. So so we do learn.
Yes, we do.
We learn, and that's a good thing. As an educator, you're teaching so that students can learn, and through life, you're still learning yourself.
Exactly.
And everybody else reaps the rewards of your lessons.
Yes.
So that's what I love about life. It's just not only for us. Our journey is not only for us, but it's for others as well.
Yes.
I heard you mention earlier, and I know because I was caught up in the web of pearl mask, where you placed an order and you didn't get it in time, et cetera, et cetera. So I was caught up in that, and you were so gracious, or whomever was the person to call or email and make things right. That's what drew me more to you than anything. Let me just say that.
Thank you.
What measures do you have in place to ensure customers receive the best products and customer service moving forward? As I said, I was a part of the experience of the overwhelming number of orders and trying to make sure you satisfy those orders. So what do you have in place now to ensure that my product is top of the line, my customer service is impeccable, et cetera?
Yeah. So now I have in place just the way that the orders come in. I always pull out of my orders before 4 p.m. And I know that I can ship those orders the same day if they're placed before 4 p.m. Now, one thing my friends always say about me is that I'm a people pleaser. So where I failed at is that I was pulling too many orders at one time back in January. I was not only overwhelming myself, I was overwhelming my computer. And what I ended up finding out was that we were actually shipping duplicate orders to people. So I ended up running out of products. That was the most hurtful part about it all. Not only did half of the customers not receive their orders in time, but the fact that a lot more people received duplicate orders and never said anything, that was the most hurtful part, because I'm like, man, you guys are getting a product that doesn't really belong to you. And I probably had maybe 2 or 3 people that ended up emailing me and saying, hey, Jazz, I got another package from you. And I was like, hey, don't send it back. Just give it to someone may need it. And I really respected that. But now I know, hey, I have to cut off at a certain time. I have to be at UPS no later than 8 a clock to make sure that my customers receive their packages within 2 or 3 days. I also make sure that I do a weekly inventory, because sometimes things may get damaged. Sometimes we might miscount during the week prior. So I make sure that all of the inventory is definitely accounted for and is updated on the site. And now I also have a system where we have a quality control. I like to call it quality control.
Yeah. UA.
Yes. So we actually don't pack the package until it's reviewed by another person, and they make sure that everything that's on that packing slip is inside of that package and it is labeled correctly before it goes out. And those were all systems that I didn't have in place before. And I wish that I had have known known then what I know now about what's going on with my business, because I would have been a lot more successful even to this day. And I'm still, like I said, I'm still reaping the woes of that time, but I'm honestly grateful for it, because I believe there's better in the future for me.
Absolutely. And putting those processes and procedures in place to include the QA is so important. So you actually, and this is just a nugget for you, you could actually host a workshop for people in e-commerce on your practices and procedures and charge fee.
Yes.
So not that I wanted to add anything else to your plate.
I would actually love to do that though. I really would, because even now I'm still learning as a female or minority business owner. There's so many opportunities out there for me. And up until a month ago, I was, I didn't know how to apply for different grants or how to apply for capital to help buy products or help pay employees to work for me. So, I'm going through that process now. And that is something I definitely think that a workshop should, have in the informational piece, because I see people all the time selling these workshops. You shouldn't have to sell something that's just basically out there for free on the internet. If someone would just pull that information and put it all into a curriculum, or decide if they want to do a workshop, you should be able to do it for free. Give back. Don't always try to make money off of every small thing, because it's going to come back to haunt you at the end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to challenge you to reconsider about the fee for it, because the fee could be nominal. And the fee could be a security to make sure that people show up and they invest in their business. I hear you.
I guess that goes back to me really, like I said, I'm a people pleaser as well. So
I'm a giver. I understand, and I had to learn from some mentors that even if it's a nominal fee, you want to ensure that what you're investing in, people are investing in too.
Right.
So I get it, because I'm a giver. So I'm gonna challenge you to rethink that. I didn't say you had to. I'm just challenging you to rethink it.
Yeah.
So, but you do what's best for Jazz.
Yeah.
Erica.
Yes, ma'am.
So, so is there anything that you would like to share with anyone out there in terms of who have a dream? Any advice that you can give them in terms of their goals, their dreams, their visions? Because you've talked about a lot. You said you were a student, a mom, a cheer coach, an entrepreneur. I don't know what your dating life is like. You may not have one because of the business.
Yeah, I have one.
Okay, well, that's good. And so that's also important on this journey, because you want to make sure that you're partnered with someone who is on your team.
Well, hold on. Let me say this before we go any further, because he's probably watching. Hey, he has really, really been a huge supporter of my business, especially during the pearl mass hysteria. He stayed up all night packing for me. He's the quality control person, and I definitely want to give him gratitude for all that he's done. Thank you, Cash, for everything you do for me and do for us as a family. But I also feel to mention that I'm also a member of this organization called the Order of the Eastern Star and Moolah Court. I'm actually the illustrious commandress, which is like the leader of the organization. So I forgot to talk about the social part of my life, but
yes, and we want you to talk about that because we still have time.
Yes.
So we want you to talk about that. My grandmother was an Eastern Star.
Okay.
Oh, and my grandfather was a Mason.
Yes.
So have your way. I think this is important for you to share all aspects of your life that you're comfortable in sharing.
Right.
I heard you say cash, and cash brings cash. And
Yes.
it's not always money.
Yes.
It's action. So, and when I said teammate, I want to stress this for people. It is important to have a teammate that's your partner, because you are really on the same team, regardless to whether you're married or you keep your money consolidated or separate, whatever. If you're in it to win it, to make sure that you both are going to win, that's a team.
Yes.
So I want to encourage people out there to support each other. Yeah, support each other. So share with us about your social life.
Well, like I said, I am a member. I'm a very active member of the Order of the Eastern Star, as well as an organization which is called the Daughters. I am the illustrious commander of Moolah Court here in Memphis, the Oasis of Memphis, Desert of Tennessee. And we're actually getting ready to go to Philadelphia on Saturday. I'll be there next week. And with my social life, you know, I have a lot of sisters and a lot of my friends who order from me. And I feel so bad because they always feel like I put them on the back burner. And but I try not to mix like my friendship with my business. So I try, you know, I've become better at keeping it professional. And even though like I might have a lot of orders online, I still have those orders. Hey, girl, I need this shirt. Hey, I'm finna cash app you for this. And so having to like, it's like you're running a whole nother business like that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, with my social life, outside of doing things with Moolah, outside of doing things with Order of the Eastern Star, I don't have one. Like, I don't have one at all because my plate is so full with Jazz and Company and trying to perfect Jazz and Company and trying to raise 3 kids and trying to be a great teacher for those 160 kids that I teach every day. It's like you have to compartmentalize each portion of your life, and you have to make sure that you excel in all of them. Someone told me, like, if you do multiple things, Erica, you'll never be able to be great in all of them. And that is where I want to prove people wrong. You know, I want people to experience Jazz and Company because I feel like I have a great product. And I might not have offered the best service back in January. And I've definitely been to workshops to work on that. I've been through classes to work on that. And I am here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. But that just comes with the mindset of not giving up. And that is my advice to anyone that wants to start an e-commerce business, that wants to go into entrepreneurship as a woman, as a Black minority business owner. Don't give up. It's not going to be easy. Like, we have to understand this system or this world or this country that we live in wasn't really made for us to succeed. So you're going to have to jump over those hurdles. You're going to have to swim in those deep oceans. Like, you're just really going to have to put in work to make sure that you come out on top. And I know it's easier said than done. There are many nights when you cry. There are many days when you cry, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it. You know, I've even expanded into selling on Amazon. I won't tell anyone my Amazon name for a certain reason, but that just goes to show how much confidence you have to have in yourself and how much confidence you have to have in your product. If you don't believe in your product, nobody else will believe in your product. You have to think that you have the best thing on the market going. And I know I have not found a person, a merchant that has the pearl mask, that has my touch on it, because it has my touch. I hate to sound like that, but
nope.
You have to believe in your product and believe in yourself and don't give up. I know it's easier to say I'm done, but as long as your steps are, like I said earlier, as long as your steps are ordered in God's word, you cannot be let down. And it's all a journey, and you just have to break yourself free from that negative mindset, that negative energy, those negative friends, those negative mates that you have. You just have to break yourself free from that. And sometimes you have to stop and regroup and come back and go hard.
Yes.
And,
yes. And you're right. You shouldn't apologize for sounding like that, because you believe in your product and it is a quality product. Mm-hmm. And so you have to say those things. You have to speak those things affirmatively. Yes. And so, yes, and I'm a witness that you have a beautiful quality product, and those who I have blessed with this product have truly, truly, truly enjoyed it. So I don't know if you have some items there in front of you that you'd like to share and kind of talk about. We can do a little show and tell.
All right.
I am truly a networker. And so it is important to me to make sure that people get to connect with the things that I'm aware of. So I'm going to always showcase what others do.
Yes. Thank you. So I do have some awesome products. The most famous, of course, which I must keep in stock now because I've learned my lesson, is the pearl mask. I don't know how it's looking on camera, but it is a beautiful mask.
Yes, it is.
On the inside, it's white. The white pearl mask has a white inside. And if you've ordered, you notice that there's a filter that's on the inside of the filter pocket. And with this Delta variant going on, you want to make sure you have as many layers as possible. These masks are handmade and they're sewn, and they have the adjustable ear strap, which I think is one of the best features on the mask, because I learned early from making masks that everyone's faces are shaped differently. So you have the bigger faces, you have smaller faces, and you just want people to be comfortable when they're wearing your products. I get so many emails from people that say, hey, I love your mask compared to what I buy in the store. And it's simply because of this little piece right here. It makes a world of a difference. Another thing that I want to show is, now I love bling. Bling is my thing. It's my favorite color. But this is one of our bling masks. It is the red bling mask, and it has the black inside. And the best thing about this feature is, if you're like me, I don't have on a lot of makeup right now, but if you're like me, you wear a lot of makeup to work and you have to wear your mask at work, you don't have to worry about that makeup staining the inside of your mask. The bling masks also come with this feature, the adjustable ear strap, as you can see here. And let me open the inside. And as usual, well, this one it's in there somewhere. There we go. As usual, we always make sure that our customers get those filters on the inside. And I don't think everybody understands that when they get our masks, they have filters on the inside of the pockets until they actually get them, because that's not something that we advertise. But, you can't let everybody know exactly what they're getting from the jump, because you want people to be surprised when they actually get their products. Another thing that I found early on to be very successful was a mask bag. So of course we know masks were new accessories to America, the US. And so what I created was just a mask bag. And all it does, when you're going out or you want to make sure that you have masks in your car, you just put them in this bag. Or if you're done with wearing a mask, you just place it in the bag. Once you get home, you take it out of the bag. And of course, you wash your mask. And I mean, it's very convenient. I know a lot of people have been wondering, like, where am I going to store my mask? I've seen people just lay them on the seats. I've seen people hang them from their mirrors, and I don't think that's really, really safe. So if you're one of those people who like to wear the mask out like once and then you're done with it until you wash it, I think the mask bag is a perfect accessory for you to just kind of keep your mask in there. You zip it up and you can go home and wash your mask, or it can just be a storage bag for your masks. You just always want to make sure that you have those masks safe. So another thing that I offer outside of masks is our Instagram and TikTok poppers. So over the pandemic, the poppets have really become like this viral toy amongst young kids and even older kids. Like my 14-year-old plays with this. And I know it's crazy. I'm gonna open up one. But
my granddaughter Madison is in love with them.
Yes.
So I have to get one for her.
Yes, it's an amazing item. It's actually all they're doing is just popping. It's very, very low lift. You don't have to buy batteries for it, and it keeps the kids busy, and they love it. All they do is just sit up and just pop these things. Like I know a couple of years ago, the fidget spinners were like really popular, and all it was doing was spinning. Well, I think these have taken the place. They're the little poppets, and like I said, it's an amazing seller on Amazon. It's an amazing seller on Etsy. I even went into a beauty supply store and they had little poppets, and kids go crazy over them. They absolutely love them, especially if you have a child that has autism or and they always have to have something. This is a very low lift item to keep their attention. It's not loud when they're popping at all. So I would definitely recommend you guys looking into the poppets. The poppets that we have online, you can get 2 for $13.99. It comes as a set.
And so 20% off.
Yes, 20% off today and tomorrow.
Yep.
Yes. So this is the TikTok poppet, and this is the Instagram. And I'm gonna tell you,
I think it's a stress reducer too.
It is, even like for adults.
Yes.
I would definitely say
I played it with my grandbaby, and we did a kind of a competition with each other.
Yes, they love it. To me, I don't even know how to explain how amazing that is. Because my 6-year-old son, he just sits down and just pops it all the time. Yeah. And he doesn't bother me, and I don't bother him. So, but I'm gonna tell you the best thing about what I do, and the best thing about my kids, is that they keep me up to date on what's trending. So my daughter was like, "Ma, you gotta get these slippers, these teddy bear slippers." I got some teddy bear slippers in February. Sold out instantly. So then I started branching off into some other kind of slippers. And as you know, the winter time is coming back around, and these are our plush sneaker slippers. They are oversized. This is actually yes, they are beautiful, and they're very comfortable and cozy. I don't know if you guys know, but studies have shown since people have been at home, they're buying a lot of things to really keep them comfortable at home. A lot of kids are doing TikToks, and so they still want to be fashionable and different. And these are really, really hot right now. They're $39.99. Yeah, they're a pair of slippers, and they're of course we would say house shoes, but they love them. I love them. I have the teddy bear slippers. I have the Jordan slippers. I have all types just in my room. Just, whenever I just want to slip my feet into something just to feel cozy, I definitely pick up a pair of these. And of course, my son, he just likes to dance.
That's a cute Christmas gift. So, I always want to encourage the customers, if they're going to shop, they can shop early for Christmas with 20% off, because those are neat little unique gifts, as you said. So
definitely. And I also launched off another line, which will eventually get its own website, which I like to call Sweaty Glam Girl. I'm going through something with that, getting it trademarked and everything before I actually launch it off. But I did a soft launch, and I actually have the resistance bands.
All that.
Yes, I actually have the resistance bands, and they've been selling really well online on my site. And they actually come as a pack of 3. So you have the medium, the light, and the heavy. And just depending on the person, you can use these bands to help tighten up those buns. You can help tighten up those thighs. Yes. I definitely have heard some people say they use it when they're like if they've hurt themselves and they're trying to go through rehabilitation to get those arms back right. They're using it on their arms and their legs and their ankles. I absolutely love this. Now I've learned to get up and really do some self-care. And so when I wake up at 5 a.m, I'm definitely doing yoga, and I'm also working out and drinking a lot of water.
Water.
Yes. So I would definitely definitely encourage you to visit the Sweaty Glam Girl collection, which is on the Jazz Nicole site. I've added some new products today from Sweaty Glam Girl as we're doing our soft lunch, which are some athleisure wear, and I have this really nice yoga bag, which is, I don't have it with me right now, it's in the other room, but definitely check it out at jazz-nicole.com, and you can just click the category Sweaty Glam Girl. You'll see some motivational water bottles, which I cannot keep in stock.
Awesome.
But I mean, there are some really cool things outside of masks, and that's what I want to share with the world. Like, I know I'm probably the girl known as the Pearl Mask Girl, but I have some awesome items on there, and I would definitely love for you guys to check it out and definitely support a small minority, Black owned, female, I have to keep saying,
Yes.
female business.
Yes, that is awesome. I just want, I'm so excited for you and your
Thank you.
future, and I'm sure the customers will be delighted
Yes.
to have your products once they get them in their hands.
Yes.
I want you to share just a little something about St. Louis. Did I hear you say something about St. Louis?
You did.
And share with us, like, maybe one of your memorables. One of the things I always think about is St. Louis ribs when I think of St. Louis. But what else from St. Louis is something that you would share with someone that's just moving to the city? Like, you've got to do this, or you've got to check this out, or...
Yeah, I would definitely say visit the Arch. Like, that arch is amazing. Just to take the elevator ride all the way up and to stand on the top of it and look over the city. It's a beautiful city. You know, of course, it's an industrial city, but it's beautiful just to see it from that view. Another thing that I really love about St. Louis, now don't judge me, it's the Budweiser factory.
Okay.
They have some amazing things in there. Like, they show you the history. I love history. They show you the history of how Budweiser became who they are. They pretty much go through a timeline of how they became who they are now. And at the end, you get free beer. So they let you try all of
you love beer.
Yes.
And you're in St. Louis?
Yes.
Budweiser, right?
Yes. The Budweiser beer company. I love it.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
So moving on from St. Louis to Memphis. I've never been to Memphis, and I plan to visit Memphis. I have not. I do plan to visit one day when this pandemic kind of calms down.
Yes.
But what's exciting about Memphis, other than we know there's some historical things related to Dr. King, some other things that you would share with someone that may be interested in Memphis?
I would definitely say Memphis is definitely the home of entrepreneurship, definitely the home of hustlers. Everybody in Memphis has a side hustle, making side money, whether it's, you know, making masks. Everybody's making shirts in Memphis. Definitely growing things like vegetables and fruits in their yards and selling them. Every corner is somebody selling watermelons. But the best thing that I love about Memphis is actually not Beale Street. It's going to the new part of the Civil Rights Museum, which I don't think a lot of people know about. And it actually shows like about the death of Dr. Martin Luther King, the FBI's involvement in that. And I think when people go to that portion of the museum, they're really shocked about, you know, the stories that they've been told. And it really makes people look at that whole situation differently, including his friends and other people that he was supposedly close with, you know, people that actually became famous off of his death. So I think that is the most amazing thing that they could have ever put in Memphis, just to add that touch to the Civil Rights Museum, that, you know, it shows that James Earl Ray, it was not possible for him to have killed him. So yeah, definitely check out that new part of the Civil Rights Museum. It's really cool.
Awesome. Well, I am so excited. And before we close out with you, it has certainly been a delightful conversation. Is there anything else you would like to share with the audience? I know we have the special, you can emphasize that again, but if there is something else that you had the opportunity just speak to someone out there today, tomorrow, next year, because this broadcast will be a living document forever.
Yay.
Yes.
Definitely want to give, like I said, business owners a piece of advice. Number one, know your worth. Know your worth. Number two, never discount yourself because you know your worth. And number three, don't give up. Just don't quit. Definitely want to encourage you all to visit my website at www.jazz-nicole.com. Remember, you will receive 20% off of your entire order today and tomorrow by simply using the code Life with Shenita. I'm definitely grateful for this audience. I'm grateful for you, Shenita, for allowing me to come on your show and just really give my spiel about jazz. And hopefully, your customers will be able to have that jazz experience and come back more often. Thank you.
Yes, you're so welcome. And I thank you for accepting the invitation and being so gracious and partnering with me during the month of March when we had the Women's Month. And so I just thank you for just who you are, and continue blessings to you today and forever.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes. And you have an amazing, amazing evening.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Thanks.
Take care.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye. So that was an awesome conversation with an awesome young lady who has shown us that even though a pandemic took place in 2020, there is still opportunity for us to not only survive it, but to thrive through it. So she gave some great advice. Know your worth. Don't discount your value, and don't give up. So to Erica Davis and Jazz Nicole and company, kudos to you in your efforts. And I hope that you guys will go to the website and shop and take advantage of the 20% coupon Life with Shenita through tomorrow evening at 8:59 p.m. I'm sure you will not regret your purchase. I have the privilege of having the different colors. There's the white pearl, there's the black pearl, there's the fuchsia pearl, there's the purple pearl, and the red pearl. And I'm not sure if there's another color, but those are the ones that I have. I have been gifting them for women, and they have been loving them, family members as well. And so I just want to encourage you guys not to miss this opportunity to get 20% off, not only on the mask, but on the other items in her e-commerce store. I know during as she said, during the campaign with our vice president, the white pearls were the thing. And so not only did you wear pearls, and I decided to wear pearls today, but you had the mask as a pearl. And if you are dressing up for any occasion, these pearl masks are a must have. The quality of them is absolutely amazing. So don't forget, you can shop until tomorrow at 8:59 p.m. and there's 20% off of your entire order. So please take advantage of that. Also, we thank you for joining us this evening. We hope that you liked and shared the broadcast. If not, if you're watching it now or you're watching it in a replay, please share it so that others can be blessed with the information that we share each and every week. Please join us next week. Next week, I have the opportunity to have an attorney to join us to talk about his business. So please join us for next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember that I love you, but God loves you most. He loves you best. And always remember that you are special. You are worthy. So don't forget to join us next week. And don't forget to shop this evening and tomorrow with jazz-nicole.com. And the Coupon code is Life with Shenita. Thank you again for watching, and you all have an amazing evening. And don't forget, on Wednesday nights, you can also catch us on FAM Radio at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well, if Thursdays don't work for you. Wednesday nights, FAM Radio. You guys take care. Thank you for watching.